The Stoic rule that ends overthinking: control what you can. Overthinking often feels like problem solving. You replay a conversation because you want to understand what went wrong. You imagine every possible outcome because you want to be prepared. You analyze another person's behavior because you want certainty. You worry about the future because you believe that enough thinking might protect you from disappointment. But after all that mental effort, you rarely feel clearer. You feel exhausted. The Stoics understood this problem thousands of years ago. They recognized that much of human suffering does not come from events themselves, but from our desperate attempt to control what was never ours to control. Their solution was built around one simple rule: control what you can. Release what you cannot. This idea sounds obvious. Yet practicing it can completely change the way you respond to uncertainty, criticism, failure, rejection, and fear. It is one of the most effective ways to end overthinking because it gives the mind a clear boundary. Instead of trying to solve everything, you learn to focus your energy only where it can make a difference. The two categories of life. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus began his teachings with a distinction. Some things are up to us. Other things are not. What is up to us? Our judgments. Our choices. Our intentions. Our effort. Our values. The way we respond to what happens. What is not fully up to us? Other people's opinions. The past. The weather. The economy. Whether someone likes us. Whether our plans succeed. How long we live. What unexpected events may happen tomorrow. Overthinking begins when we confuse these two categories. We treat uncontrollable things as if they are personal assignments. We believe it is our responsibility to make everyone understand us. We think we must guarantee that our plans work perfectly. We feel compelled to predict every possible problem before taking action. We try to mentally rewrite events that have already happened. But the mind cannot complete an impossible task. When you demand certainty from an uncertain world, your thoughts begin running in circles. Imagine sending an important message and receiving no reply. You begin wondering whether you said something wrong. You reread the message. You study every sentence. You imagine the other person feeling offended, disappointed, annoyed, or uninterested. You create explanations without evidence. But what is actually under your control? You can communicate honestly. You can clarify your meaning when necessary. You can decide how long you are willing to wait. You can return your attention to your own responsibilities. You cannot control when the other person replies, what mood they are in, or how they interpret every word. The moment you recognize that boundary, much of the mental noise becomes unnecessary. Overthinking is often a search for control. At its core, overthinking is usually an attempt to escape uncertainty. The mind says, think about it a little longer, and you will finally feel safe. But safety never arrives, because another possibility always appears. What if the meeting goes badly? What if I make the wrong choice? What if people judge me? What if I fail? What if I succeed and cannot handle the responsibility? The mind can generate questions forever. It has no natural stopping point. Stoicism gives it one. Ask yourself. Is this within my control? When the answer is yes, choose an action. When the answer is no, practice acceptance. This does not mean becoming passive. It does not mean ignoring problems or pretending that outcomes do not matter. It means separating useful thought from useless mental repetition. Useful thought leads toward a decision. Overthinking leads back to the same fear. Useful thought asks, what can I do next? Overthinking asks, how can I guarantee that nothing goes wrong? You can prepare for a job interview. You cannot guarantee that you will be hired. You can apologize sincerely. You cannot force someone to forgive you. You can take care of your health. You cannot eliminate every risk. You can create meaningful work. You cannot control how the world responds to it. The Stoic approach is not to stop caring about outcomes. It is to stop treating outcomes as if they are completely yours. Move from outcome to process. One of the most powerful ways to reduce overthinking is to shift your attention from the outcome to the process. An outcome is usually influenced by many forces. A process is what you do now. Suppose you are preparing to give a presentation. An outcome-focused mind says, "What if I embarrass myself? What if they think I am incompetent? What if I forget what to say?" A process-focused mind asks, "Have I prepared carefully? Can I practice one more time? Can I speak slowly, breathe deeply, and communicate as clearly as possible?" The first set of questions creates anxiety because it focuses on reactions you cannot command. The second creates confidence because it gives you something concrete to do. This is the Stoic discipline of effort without attachment. You commit fully to your actions while accepting that the final result is not entirely under your authority. A useful metaphor is that of an archer. The archer controls the training, the posture, the aim, and the release of the arrow. But once the arrow leaves the bow, other forces become involved. A sudden wind may change its direction. The target may move. Something unexpected may interfere. The archer's responsibility is to make the best possible shot. Not to command the universe after the arrow has been released. Many of us continue trying to control the arrow while it is already in the air. That is what overthinking often becomes, an attempt to influence events through mental tension after our part is finished. Stop arguing with the past. The past is one of the mind's favorite places to overthink. You revisit a mistake and imagine what you should have said. You replay an embarrassing moment. You judge an earlier version of yourself using knowledge you only gained later. But the past is outside your control in the most complete sense. Nothing you think today can change what happened yesterday. This does not make reflection useless. Reflection becomes valuable when it produces wisdom. Ask, "What can this teach me?" Then turn the lesson into present action. Perhaps you need to set a stronger boundary. Perhaps you need to communicate sooner. Perhaps you need to prepare more carefully or recognize a pattern you previously ignored. Once the lesson is extracted, endless replay serves no purpose. The Stoic does not say, "The past does not matter." The Stoic says, "The past cannot be changed, but it can be used." Regret becomes destructive when it remains focused on punishment. It becomes constructive when it becomes guidance. You are allowed to wish that you had acted differently. But you do not have to spend the rest of your life mentally standing inside a moment that no longer exists. Your power is always located in the present. Let other people own their opinions. A large amount of overthinking comes from trying to control how we are perceived. Did they misunderstand me? Do they respect me? Why did they look at me that way? What are they saying when I am not there? The Stoics repeatedly warned against placing our peace in the hands of public opinion. You can act with honesty, courage, fairness, and self-respect. You can listen to criticism and correct genuine mistakes. But you cannot enter another person's mind and arrange their thoughts about you. Some people will dislike you because of something you did. Others will dislike you because of something they imagined. Some will judge you through the lens of their own insecurity, expectations, history, or mood. Trying to manage every opinion is like trying to control the weather in every city. It cannot be done. This does not mean becoming cold or inconsiderate. It means using your character, not applause, as your standard. Ask yourself, did I act according to my values? Was I honest? Was I respectful? Is there anything I should correct? When you have answered those questions sincerely, allow other people to own their conclusions. Their opinions belong to them. Your conduct belongs to you. Use the next action test. When your thoughts begin spiraling, use a simple test. What is the next action available to me? Not the perfect action. Not the action that guarantees success. The next reasonable action. Maybe you need to make a phone call. Write the first paragraph. Ask a direct question. Go for a walk. Create a budget. Make an appointment. Turn off your phone. Get some sleep. Overthinking keeps life abstract. Action makes it concrete. Your mind may be trying to solve the next 5 years when your actual responsibility is to handle the next 5 minutes. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to meet the present moment with clear judgment and disciplined action. He ruled an empire, faced war, illness, political conflict, and personal loss. Yet his writings continually return to the task directly in front of him. Do what the moment requires. You do not need to carry tomorrow before it arrives. Acceptance is not defeat. Some people resist the Stoic distinction because acceptance sounds like surrender. But accepting what you cannot control is not the same as approving of it. You can accept that something happened while still working to improve the situation. You can accept that a relationship has ended without pretending it did not hurt. You can accept that life is uncertain while still planning carefully. You can accept that people are imperfect while still maintaining standards and boundaries. Acceptance means seeing reality without demanding that it become different before you allow yourself to move forward. Resistance says, this should not be happening. Wisdom says, this is happening. What can I do now? That second question restores your power. Practice the rule every day. The Stoic rule becomes effective through repetition. Whenever you notice yourself overthinking, pause. Name the situation clearly. Then divide it into 2 parts. What belongs to you? What does not? Your preparation may belong to you. The final result may not. Your apology may belong to you. Their forgiveness may not. Your effort may belong to you. Recognition may not. Your response belongs to you. The event itself may not. Then return your energy to the first category. This practice may not remove uncertainty, but it removes the belief that you must control uncertainty before you can live. You begin to understand that peace does not come from arranging the entire world according to your preferences. Peace comes from knowing where your responsibility ends. Final thoughts. Overthinking tells you that 1 more hour of worry will produce certainty. Stoicism tells you that certainty was never required. You do not need to know exactly what will happen. You need to know how you intend to meet what happens. You cannot control every outcome, every opinion, every delay, every rejection, or every unexpected change. But you can control whether you respond with patience or panic. You can control whether you act according to fear or according to principle. You can control whether you remain trapped in mental possibilities or return to the reality in front of you. The next time your thoughts begin to spiral, do not try to solve the entire future. Ask one question. What is within my control right now? Find the answer. Take the next action. And release the rest. Because the goal of Stoicism is not to gain control over life. It is to stop losing control of yourself.